Hello and thank you for joining us. In this video we will be revisiting the 317 strategy for the Pick 3 draw games. The 317 strategy has been explained by other YouTubers, Twin, and Let Me Share a Thought with you, and we have their video links below in the description box. We have seen numerous Pick 3 strategies on YouTube, and most of them require you to make a matrix. Making these matrices by hand is so time consuming, confusing, and the possibility of making errors. That is why we developed this spreadsheet as a tool so that we can quickly identify any patterns. You can make matrices for any draw in a matter of seconds and even view multiple matrices side by side. But before we continue on, we would like to update our current draw for California. Today's the 25th of October. It looks like we need to add in 2 more dates for October 24th. And let me get the website there. Perfect. So it looks like we're missing 2 entries for October 24th. So what we're going to do is we're going to go highlight everything except for the last 2 rows. Press right click on your mouse, copy, and since we're adding 2 more entries, we're going to go to the 3rd row, right click, paste. So what that did was it moved all your data information 2 rows down so we can enter the most current 2 draws above. What I like to do is just highlight 3 boxes real quick, click on the little box over here, and what Excel does is it automatically calculates the number sequence here so you don't have to write it yourself. So let's change the date to October 24th. October 24th. And the evening draw was 744. The midday draw was 575. In this section here we put M for midday and E for evening. This is a way for us to differentiate the time of draws on the day. In some states there are up to 4 draws. Other states and countries there's only 1 draw, so that will be up to you. Let's go back to the Pick 317 worksheet here. What's great here is once you enter the information in the Pick 3 data area, it automatically populates over here. So what the 317 does is you're adding numbers to each particular position. For example, this number here, 664, which was on October 19th. Let me scroll down. October 19th, 664. We have this number here. The number populates over here, and on the first position what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding 3. So 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. But in Lotto terms what we're going to be using is the base number, and that's the end number of any number. For example, if you have a 2-digit number and the number is 12, your base number will be 2. In the second position here in the 317 method, we'll be adding 1. So 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 plus 1 is 8, and so forth. In the last position, on the 3rd position here, the number is 4. So you'll be adding 7 plus 4, which is 11. You're going to get the base number of 11, which is 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. Your base number is 5. Now what we want to do is we want to update all this information here. If you would have to do this by hand, it would take some time. So we're going to go to the 24th, and that was 744, and that was on the 24th. The next number was 575 on the 24th. 423 on the 23rd. 546 on the 23rd. 348 on the 22nd. 784 22nd. 811 on the 21st, 331 on the 21st. Now you're looking at the matrix here, and every time we change the date, this is the month and this is the day. It can also be a year, but I'll explain that a little bit later. What this number does is you need a point of reference, and if you have a matrix chart like this and you're trying to figure out what the next hit will be, if you don't have a point of reference, it's the same thing as picking any number from 000 to 999. So you do need a point of reference, and what Twin and Let Me Share a Thought with You explained was to get a point of reference, you begin the month, which is October 10, and the day, which is 24, and you add them together, which would be 34, but you'll get the base number of that, which is 4. So the last digit of 34 is 4. We do have another option of doing the sum, which is a little more advanced, so we'll just stick with base right now. So looking at these numbers here, what we're trying to do is we're trying to see if we can identify any patterns to see if the 317 will be working in this time period. So let's look at the previous draw, which is 575 from 744, and we're trying to see if we can locate any number here. And if you look right here, you'll see 744. If you chose those numbers, you would have won your straight box. Now, unfortunately, we did play the numbers, but we played 745, 741, but we didn't play the 744 for this particular draw. Let's go back one more day to see if we can identify a 575. So we're looking here to see if we can find a 575, and it looks like it's very difficult to identify a 575 on this matrix here. We'll go back here to on 456 to see if we can see a 423, and it doesn't look like there is a 423. Oh, actually there is one down here, 423. And we'll go back one more, 348, to see if we can see a 456. Here's a 546. There is a 546 you can identify and possibly use that number for the next draw. Now, another way of looking at this is instead of going from draw to draw, you can go from evening to evening or midday to midday. So on a 348, your next from evening to evening will be 243. Excuse me, 423, and here it is, 423, 423. Let's see if we could go evening to evening. So that'll be 811 going to 348. There you go, 834, 438. It's not in the ordered sequence, but if you're playing a straight box, you'll still win. So it looks like there's an evening to evening correlation. Let's see if we can find one here for 744. There you go, 744, 474. And that's what we should have done, is we should have tried an evening to evening instead of a draw to draw. There would have been a good possibility of us choosing these numbers, at least a 474, 747, possibly a 704, but as we can see, the draw came out 744. We might have chose possibly a 744. If we picked those numbers, we would have hit the straight box. So as you can see, this is a very quick way of trying to identify if there's any patterns. Like we said, if you try to write this out and make your own matrix, It's very difficult. By all means, you can try to make your own Excel sheet in trying to calculate and make matrices for draws. Now, the other thing we have on here, even though this is called the 317, you can change the numbers up in your patterns. You could call it 379 and it will automatically change for you. We suggest that you try to be consistent in what type of main sequence you're using. If you're using a 317, use 317 throughout your matrices, so you can see at least being consistent. You can at least try to identify a pattern. If you're going to use a different pattern, you can use a 379. Be consistent throughout using 379. Let me change this back. Now, another note of caution is typically they use odd numbers: 1, 3, 7, and 9. Using those numbers will give you all the possible combinations on a draw. If you use even numbers, 2, 4, 6, you'll be losing half the numbers. It's great if those numbers do show up, but if they don't show up, it's very difficult to win. Another odd number that you shouldn't use is 5, because 5 is called a mirrored number, and all you can do is on 331, your first position number 3, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, back to 3. So you're only going to get 2 numbers, which is even worse than an even number. So let me change this back. Now, if you watched Share a Thought with Ya, he has a monthly pick, and what he does is he uses the month and the year, well, the last digit of the year. So he uses 107, and over here on the year, instead of the date, he puts the year 17 for 2017. And this is the matrix he uses for October. And from here, he tries to identify numbers throughout the month. And we tried doing that. We picked 414, 411. 038 looks like a very common number that comes up. 969. It's up to you and how you try to identify what the patterns are. Now, on this worksheet here, we have other strategies. We call this the BBG, which is the big box grid. I believe this was done by Pick 3 Noble, and we'll go over this in a different video. And here's another one over here. We call this the QBM, Quick Box Matrix. This might have been done by Twin. I can't remember right now. So we'd like to thank you for watching this video, and if you would like to purchase our spreadsheet, you can visit our website at www.i2ci.com. The web link will be in the description box below. Thank you once again. Have a great day.